Philippines is not simply a tropical destination. It is a living, breathing archive of Earth's natural history. Composed of more than 7,600 islands, this archipelago sits within the Coral Triangle, a region recognized by marine scientists as the most biologically diverse marine environment on the planet. In these waters, life does not merely exist. It flourishes at a scale that is both rare and extraordinary. But the beauty of the Philippines begins long before the first wave touches the shore. These islands were forged through immense geological forces. Over millions of years, the movement of tectonic plates shaped a fragmented landscape of mountains, coastlines, and seas. What we now see as tranquil beaches are, in fact, the result of violent beginnings, uplift volcanic activity, and the slow, persistent work of erosion. This is why no two Philippine beaches are ever truly the same. In Boracay, the sand is impossibly fine, almost powder-like, formed from crushed coral and shell fragments, refined over centuries by waves and time. In El Nido, towering limestone cliffs rise dramatically from turquoise waters, their formations dating back millions of years, sculpted by wind and sea. And in Siargao, the coastline tells a different story altogether, one shaped by powerful currents and open ocean energy. Beneath the surface, another world unfolds. The seas surrounding the Philippines contain thousands of species of fish and hundreds of coral varieties. These reefs are not just vibrant, they are foundational. They sustain entire ecosystems, acting as nurseries, feeding grounds, and protective barriers for marine life. One of the most remarkable examples is Tubbataha Reefs Natural Park. Isolated in the middle of the Sulu Sea, it stands as one of the most pristine reef systems in the world. Here, coral structures stretch endlessly, supporting sharks, rays, sea turtles, and an astonishing diversity of life that few places on Earth can rival. Yet the beauty of these beaches is not confined to what lies beneath the water. Along the shorelines, coconut palms sway in rhythmic motion, shaped by coastal winds. Mangrove forests anchor the land, quietly protecting it from erosion while nurturing young marine species. Seagrass beds, often overlooked, serve as vital habitats that connect the ocean's ecosystems into a single, continuous system. Everything here is connected. Even the climate plays its role. The Philippines experiences a tropical maritime climate, influenced by seasonal winds known as amihan and habagat. These shifting patterns alter the character of the beaches throughout the year, changing wave intensity, water clarity, and even the shape of the shoreline itself. The result is a landscape that is never static. It evolves, breathes, and transforms. But beyond the science, there is something more difficult to quantify. There is the sound, the steady rhythm of waves collapsing onto the shore. The light, soft and golden at sunrise, intense and brilliant at midday, and fading into deep amber at sunset. The horizon, where sky and sea dissolve into a seamless gradient of blue. In places like Nakpan Beach, the vastness of the coastline creates a sense of stillness that feels almost untouched by time. And then, there is the human connection. For generations, coastal communities have lived in balance with these environments. Fishing, navigation, and daily life are shaped by the sea. The relationship is not just economic. It is cultural, deeply embedded in identity and tradition. However, this beauty is not invulnerable. Rising sea levels, coral bleaching, and increasing storm intensity threaten these ecosystems. Human activity, particularly unregulated tourism and coastal development, has in some areas accelerated environmental degradation. The rehabilitation of Boracay stands as a powerful reminder. Even the most iconic landscapes can be pushed to their limits. But it also proves something equally important, that recovery is possible when preservation becomes a priority. In the end, the beaches of the Philippines are more than postcard-perfect scenery. They are the result of millions of years of geological transformation, sustained by intricate ecosystems and deeply intertwined with human life. Their beauty is not accidental. It is the product of time, science, and delicate balance. And perhaps that is what makes them truly extraordinary. Not just how they look, but how much they hold. And yet, there is another layer to this story, one that extends beyond ecology and into time itself. Philippine coastlines are not only shaped by natural forces, but by the rhythms of history. Long before modern tourism, these shores served as points of arrival and departure, pathways for trade, migration, and cultural exchange. Austronesian seafarers once navigated these waters with remarkable precision, guided by stars, currents, and an intimate understanding of the sea. The beaches, in this sense, are thresholds. They are where land meets ocean, but also where cultures met, evolved, and intertwined. Even today, this legacy persists. Small fishing vessels trace routes that have existed for generations. Coastal markets reflect a continuity of livelihood that is deeply tied to marine cycles. The shoreline is not just scenery. It is a site of ongoing human experience. There is also a growing recognition within environmental science of the Philippines as a critical front line in global conservation. Because of its biodiversity, what happens here has implications far beyond its borders. Protecting these ecosystems is not merely a national concern. It is a global responsibility. Marine protected areas, community-led conservation efforts, and sustainable tourism initiatives are beginning to reshape how these landscapes are engaged with. In regions like Apo Island, collaborative conservation has demonstrated measurable success, with coral cover and fish populations recovering through consistent stewardship. Still, the balance remains fragile. The very qualities that make Philippine beaches so compelling, their accessibility, their beauty, their abundance, also make them vulnerable to overuse. Preservation, therefore, requires not only policy, but awareness. It demands a shift from passive admiration to active responsibility. Because ultimately, the beauty of these places is not guaranteed.